Hey people, hope you're all well. Into the ether here. So today, I'm going to go over my track with Leo ISLO, Heaven is Closer, that was out a week or so ago on Purified. I'll kind of explain the original idea, and then we'll just go from top to bottom and we'll kind of talk about the arrangement. So the original idea for this track, I did a YouTube series on it. You'll find it on the YouTube. It's the only start to finish one there is. So I kind of wrote that track start to finish, got it to kind of how I wanted it, and then I sent it over to Leo ISLO. And he actually changed the chord progression on it. Now I don't have the original progression on here, but maybe I'll try and find it at the end, see if I can find a bounce. I don't know if I have one. But he changed the chord progression, added some kind of his bits to it. Obviously, wrote the lyrics, sang the vocal, and then we had the final version. So I'll show you. I'll kind of skip through the track so you can see kind of sections, and then we'll go through it. So yeah, that's a track. Now we'll just go through it from kind of top to bottom. As I say, I did originally start with kind of the atmospheres, the kind of progression and whatnot, but that actually changed a couple of times through the process until I was happy with what I had. So first off, then we'll start with these drums. If we put the drums together, we get so now we've got the kick drum, which is from a PML 5-pack. Some slight EQ on that. These claps, might just be one on this. Yeah, just one clap literally from PML again. Tiny bit of reverb. Bit of an EQ. These closed hats. Nothing, literally nothing on that channel. There's a little bit of delay. These ones here. Bit of auto pan. Some side chain on it. I wonder. That's it. Bit of velocity. Changes on it. Got this open hat. It's just again some side chain, some duck. My volume automation. I tend to use track spacer for my actual kind of side chain though. But on my hats I'll always use duck and stuff. So there's a bit of room on it. Some shakers that'll be from Shimmer Shake Strike, but I just froze them. So there's nothing on that. There was probably processing on the original file. We've got a couple of top loops. Nothing crazy on them. This kind of percussion loop. Zero processing. A little drum fill. Just got some EQ and a reverb on it. Just for transitions. And I believe that is all the drums. So I'll kind of show you all them again, and then we'll see what's on the bus. Nothing, just a filter. You can see there's barely anything on any of that section. We've got the bass line, which looks like this. It's made in Serum. It's got some side chain on it. So this is the main bass. It's got a little bit of EQ. Obviously taking the low end out. We've got a separate sub. Took some of the highs out. Probably to make room for some of the kind of synths and whatnot. And again, a filter. I've got this break bass, which is very simple. Just obviously help carry the break through. Then we've got the sub. Again, very basic. A bit of saturation. Saturation knob. Again, some sidechain. Overall, a little bit of compression. Right, let's do if we do the leads, I guess without the guitars maybe. Which is obviously very simple. Oh, we've got this. So a very simple sound again, as always. A little bit of reverb on the channel. Taking out quite a lot just to give me that kind of pushing it back in the mix a bit more. Well, I've done a lot of that in Serum as well. Taking the highs and the lows out. Another filter, some delay and reverb automation. Where I would have automated them, probably on the transitions. That's literally just for the end of the radio edit. Only place I've automated that. And at the end of the break. The start of the break, sorry. Then we have, I don't know what this is, this old lead that used to be in, but I don't even know what's going on with this. Obviously playing about with something. Must have been playing about that idea at first, before changing it to this sound. Just in Diva. And super basic, super simple. And on that we have some EQ again, and obviously got the filter on it. Overall some sidechain, some compression, and the sidechain for some reason. Oh yeah, so that's for the kick, this one's for the kick, and this one's for the vocal. So the vocal has a bit more room when it comes in. Now the guitars. We'll go through these individually. On the main channel we've got some compression. A bit of glue compressor. Looks like it's barely even moving. Yeah. But we have this one. These are obviously all recorded by Leo. There's that. There's this kind of guitar pad. Some nice atmosphere. We have this. This is the one that kind of plays throughout the whole track. Just took a bit of them lows out. Utility to automate the gain. I don't know if I've done that through the track or if it's just for like... Oh yeah, ever so slightly. Took it down and brought it back up. Then we have... Wait, I'm sure there's another part. Oh yeah, this part I thought I was muted. Yeah, here. Really adds a bit of grit to the kind of second drop. Kind of works well with that lead. Altogether, it's kind of like... That's that section. Right, now for the pads, pianos, and all of them together. Again, on the overall track, we've got some minor EQ, bit of dynamic. Putting that around 300 hertz at 2.5 dB. Some side chain on that. We've got this pad, Omnisphere pad. When it opens. This is why I don't usually open Omnisphere when I do these. Ziggy, you're on camera. Obviously my cat scratching his mouth off. The deep blue clouds and Omnisphere. We have this kind of counter, which is in a serum patch, I think from Fur Clouds pack. Same with this one, it's from the same pack. And then the piano, but if we go through this kind of counter, got some auto pen on it, more EQ. This stutter one, obviously just no processing at all. Then the piano, this is a contact piano, some Hall, a bit of OTT, and some EQ. Then we have this little atmospheric top synth that Leo added. Skip the vocals for now. This atmosphere, which was from the original, what I created. Some Omnisphere stuff, as you know if you watched my videos before, it's usually the case. Some shimmer. Same, they'll pretty much be exactly the same, I would imagine. Yeah, not far off it. We have this kind of vocal kind of sample. If I show you that without anything, what was it Iraq originally? So I've pitched it up twice, I've kept it on beats. It's pitched at 2 semitones. If I drag it out, it was originally this sample. It sounds like that if it was in Complex Pro. Then I obviously shortened it to this. Added some EQ to it. And then some Portal on the Heaven Reveal setting. I thought it sounded really nice, so I kept it in, even with the other vocal. Then this is just like some birds or crickets or something. Then some effects. What were effects? We've got this little kind of tonerizer. And obviously some white noise and stuff. So that is everything without the vocals. So if I turn the vocals off, you kind of get and if you look at the vocals, we'll start from, I think we'll go from the breakdown because there's more there. On the overall group, I've just got some kind of utility controlling the game. The vocal lead, some EQ there, some compression. Some sidechain, just for when it's in the drop. That's literally it. You can see here I've kind of edited the vocals. So if the original way it flowed was, oh, what's going on here? It's a bit slower, so I change it to they've warped it there. It's not a massive change, but it flowed a bit better for me. And then we've got all these kind of doubles and stuff. So obviously when I got this vocal, Leo had already done his thing on it, so I didn't have to do a major amount to it. Just more getting it to fit in the mix how I wanted it. I'll show you the little individual parts. The echo thing, some falsetto. See, I've not even processed that. Same with that. Literally, I've not touched any of these. Sorry, let's let the cat out. He had these little vocal samples in, but I never used these in the end. You hear them here. I just thought they weren't needed. And that's it for all the kind of parts. On the kind of pre-master, I've got a bit of relife. That's it. A tiny bit of glue compressor, a filter and a reverb. But that's literally just for like what's it called? Like leading up to the drop and kind of transitions and whatnot. There's nothing else. They're literally doing nothing else. As you can see here. If we talk about the arrangement real quick, I've obviously got a radio edit, a streaming edit, and we've got this kind of extended edit, which obviously has a drum intro. Starts off with not much going on, just the atmosphere and some drums. Halfway through we start teasing the kind of ARP and start bringing this guitar rhythm in. Little break section. I toyed with bringing the vocal in here, but then I thought that would start it in the drop. The first kind of drop section. So I did. Looks like I planned to have some kind of vocal reverse in, but only used it here actually. Let's quickly show you this. That's just for the radio edit. I'll just reverse the vocal. But yeah, so we had the drop come in. Start bringing that kind of lead line in. Then that's when I bring that kind of guitar lead in, as the kind of vocal essentially finishes. I'm going to just have this repeating. Want to bring in this kind of vocal bit here, and then we filter the drums out. The new pad kind of stuff comes in. Again, it just brings a new element in that we only kind of hear for this section in the breakdown. Then it disappears and comes back for the drop section. It's kind of the same section as that, but kind of just longer. Double in length each note. So I like to have some sections like that you don't hear, you hear kind of briefly, and it will come back again slightly different. Obviously you have the build up, which just has a snare roll. We didn't talk about a snare roll, but it's literally just a snare roll. And then obviously I didn't bring the full vocal back in. And then we went for this counter. It's the see the track out. That's essentially it for the track. Then the outro. Just have that rhythm repeating for a bit. Probably filtering out. I don't even have the atmosphere playing all the way out. Kind of goes straight to just drums. And that is Heaven is Closer. As you can see, originally it was called Heaven Feels Closer, so I'll keep kind of going to call it that. That's out now on Purified. You know, you can go and stream it, buy it on Beatport, whatever you fancy. I will put a link to the original kind of start to finish that I made with this. I'll put it in the bio, or I'll put it in the video somewhere. Thanks for checking it out, and I'll catch you all again soon. Peace.